Welcome to Talk Habesha.
Hi guys, welcome back to Talk Habesha. Today's video is sponsored by Salam Central and we'll be talking about our dating experiences. So to start off, who here is dating?
Well, I think we should actually define what dating is because I feel like everyone has different kind of perceptions of that word.
Oh, okay.
So for me personally, dating is actually, like getting to know a person and then figuring out if you actually can be in a relationship with them. What do you guys think?
It's like talking,
it
talking
starts
stage.
off
Is that
talking,
dating?
yeah.
Is that dating?
Nah.
Or is that just, what is that? I don't think that's dating.
I think that's getting to know.
Well,
It's getting to know
It's
them,
getting
but
to know
it's not
somebody, it's not
dating.
dating. I feel like dating is like when you actually
Go out
meet
on
up
dates.
with each other, that
Going
type
on
of...
dates,
So
Yeah.
when you're dating someone, are you then, so does that mean you can't date anyone else?
No,
If you're dating,
No,
Date.
you're dating, yeah.
huh? You can't date anyone else.
I
you
think
can.
you
depends on
can.
the
It
culture.
depends on culture.
Yeah, I think like if you're in America, like I find Americans are just like dating like 50 people at once.
Yeah.
Nothing.
For real?
It's like if
Yeah.
someone asks you who you dating, like, oh, I'm
That's
dating
so
this
true.
person,
Yeah.
and then at the same time people be like, oh yeah, I'm dating, or I'm dating this person. So dating is like when you're like going out for dinner
So-
or whatever with
so
different
you
But it
people.
can-
depends. Like you need to talk about it with the person you're dating. Like if you're exclusive.
Yeah.
You
then
need to
that's
tell
what
them,
it is,
listen,
yeah.
I'm with you, or this, you're one of the many.
Yeah,
Do you get what
you
I
need to
mean?
communicate that.
So at the end of the day, it's down to what you perceive dating as, you know?
Yeah, but at the same time, I think dating different people is actually good because I think you learn about yourself and you learn about what you like and what you want out of a person and what you want out of a relationship.
Yeah.
So I don't think just dating one person and then just wanting to be just in a relationship with them, I don't think that's necessarily
The best way.
And
Yeah,
it
the
protects
best
yourself
way.
as well
Yeah.
from like getting hurt. Like if you're like fully concentrating on that one person and
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
end up like treating you wrong. Like if
Imagine
you're,
if you're not the only person that they're like concentrating on as well.
But
So
that's
you're
why it's
concentrating on them,
important for the
Yeah.
other person to know
Yeah.
what your intention is. They
Yeah.
need to know if they're exclusive to you or
that's
if you're, just dating
You
just
need
to
to
find that
communicate.
person.
Would you tell them like how soon into would you have that conversation though? Because I think
So
On
when
the
it-
first date, you
First
tell them.
date.
that might scare them. I mean,
No, you gotta be honest.
Some
Wait,
guys,
first-
some
so-
guys take it the
catch
wrong
you
way.
feeling.
Some
First-
guys take it the wrong way.
Wait, on the first day you're gonna say what? What were you gonna say?
Just keep it neutral. Like, don't be like, yeah, so you're like one of the 5 girls that I'm dating. So you
Oh,
don't say
right.
like that, but like
Okay.
keep it neutral in a way where it's like, you're not too serious.
Yeah.
You're not too monotone. You're just being yourself. And obviously, if that person's cool, call them
Yeah,
back.
that
If
makes
not,
sense.
on to the next one. But that's
Back to the first question. Who is dating?
Oh.
yeah, tangent.
Okay, so dating is in relationship or dating?
Just both.
In
Equal.
I mean,
Anything.
I'm open
Like,
to
would you s-
dating,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm
we
not
don't date
saying
right
I'm
now.
actively.
Yep, like,
Okay, so yeah, I'm in a relationship. Anyone else?
yeah,
Yeah,
me
I
too,
am as well.
yeah.
I'm not in a relationship, but
dating.
open relationship. Like
Oh.
open.
That's a whole other
Expand.
podcast.
Expand, elaborate, please.
Yeah, I mean, like as you said, dating is like, as you said, obviously you need to have, you can date, like, you go there, you go for dinner, lunch, whatever. You're not, you're not like,
So you're dating
no,
multiple
no.
people.
So you're not
Yes.
exclusive to
Mm.
one.
Okay.
No, I'm just
I thought you-
in.
yeah.
Okay.
in
Was
the,
okay.
He's Google search.
exactly.
So what would you guys say about your experiences then dating? Or like, what's your experience like now? Are they Habesha? Are they not Habesha? We go one by one and take turns. Natty.
100% Habesha, man. Yeah, I travelled the whole world and landed back in Alice. You know what I mean? No, for real, that's actually real because I think when I was younger, I was just like, it was all about different, like doing something different. I was actually living for other people's approval rather than actually what really rang true to me. So, and then as I got older, I started realising the value of our culture
Yeah.
and maintaining our culture and how powerful that is. And so it went straight back to Motherland, isn't it? Like, I didn't pluck someone from a village, but yeah.
So I am dating non-Habesha. For me, growing up, it was my parents never said to me you have to marry an Habesha. They never put that kind of pressure on me, so I've never felt that pressure. I don't like to sort of limit myself to just that one culture. I think there are much more important things that I'm looking for out of a relationship than them just being Habesha. Like there are so many more important things, and if a guy has all of those qualities but isn't Habesha, that doesn't sort of faze me.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
But if you dated a Habesha person, do you think your parents would prefer it, or would they just still be the same?
I think my mum is more she's more modern, so she doesn't mind dating outside of the Habesha culture. I think my dad would prefer it, but he would never say to me, you have to date an Habesha, you have to marry an Habesha. Obviously it would be easier if I did date an Habesha because of the whole culture, marriage, kids, all of that kind of stuff, but again, I'm not going to limit myself.
So yeah, I'm going out with someone who's Ethiopian, someone that's Habesha. I've been with him for 2 years and 2 months now, so yeah, it's been a while. And growing up, I grew up with a lot of Habesha people, even like my friendship group, a lot of them were Eritrean, Ethiopian. So like the culture's always been there. Like obviously I grew up, born and raised and grew up here, so you know, when you go outside you meet people from different backgrounds and whatnot. But I don't know, I've just found it more easier to date someone who's from my background, because you know, I'm fluent in Tigrinya, my language, he speaks the same language as me. So it's just easier, to be honest. Like I'm open to obviously, like, it's not just about the culture, I'm open to dating other people from different backgrounds, but personally I'm very cultured. I like someone that understands where I come from, how we are at home, because like before that I dated someone, well, like I went on a date with them like twice, and it was just a bit weird because like I don't know if it was it, but we had different values, and I think it came down to culture. But yeah, that's me.
Cool. Yeah, basically, I'm dating, but it's not Habesha. Down somewhere Europe, around Spain. Yeah.
Well, you don't know exactly where they're from.
They're from Spain.
Oh, okay.
Definitely from
Just guessing.
Spain. Yeah, from Spain. Yeah, it's quite interesting. I've been in a relationship obviously with Habesha before. Didn't work out. So it's like I'm a very open-minded person with certain things. So you get to learn from another culture. I think it makes it because when you're with your own people, obviously I love my people, obviously, but it's when it's one of a background, the relationship becomes more interesting because you want to learn the other person's culture and the other person wants to learn your culture in a way. So there's a lot to give in a relationship. The way I see it right now, I'm picking a lot of stuff from them, and you're gonna do U-turn and you're gonna go back to your Habesha zone. So but I'm learning a lot of stuff from that person.
Okay, so I obviously grew up in London, which was like, and my school and my environment was very multicultural, very multi-faith. So like, it was always normal for me to have, you know, friends of like West African and Caribbean descent. Like I found it harder to meet Habesha girls and guys. So my experience, I'm single at the moment, but my experience dating has actually been more so outside of the Habesha community. I have dated Habesha guys, it's just as in like gone on a few dates, but it never really quite worked out. And I mean, I'm definitely open to it, but at the same time, it's like, for me, like Elsie said, like there's so much more to a relationship. Like if I could have someone that had the right character of what I wanted, but wasn't Habesha, that would matter to me more. As long as you can respect each other's cultures and embrace each other's cultures, it's fine. Like that's my personal opinion on it.
And you don't lose yourself, like you don't
Yeah.
lose your culture, and
True.
I think that's really important that you remember who you are in your relationship as well.
I think
Yeah.
that's the fear of most parents as well. They feel like if you date someone outside of your culture, they feel like you might lose your identity or who you are, but that's not the case. But obviously they're not saying it with bad intentions. They're probably parents that want their kids to date within their culture are probably saying it because, you know what if you lose your culture, what if you forget this, what if you get that, but at the end of the day, you know, it's still amazing to see people from two backgrounds learn each other's culture, so.
And I speak Amharic, I'm not like the greatest, but I can speak it, and I would definitely want to teach my kids it regardless of whether the father was it. And I would want them to be in touch with it. I'd take them to Ethiopia, I would obviously have my family around, so yeah, I think people make it a bigger deal than it like needs to be, in my opinion. So yeah, that's me.
Okay, so for me growing up, I was always surrounded, I grew up around a lot of the West Africans, so the Nigerians, the Ghanaians. Because I grew up with a lot of Nigerians, they always like, you're going to marry a Nigerian, you're going to get with a Nigerian, this, that and the other. So then, lo and behold, I ended up being in a relationship with a Nigerian.
Are you still in the
She's
relationship?
in
No, I'm not in the relationship.
Oh, you're not?
No.
Okay.
How was it, dating a Nigerian? What would you say coming out of it?
I taught him Amarinya, like
Oh, that's so cute.
so he would understand stuff that I like when I be speaking.
I would do that.
Yeah.
I would do that. Yeah.
So when I be on the phone to my mum, he'd pick up like he was good at picking up languages. So like stuff that I would like constantly say to my mum, be like Minaj. So anytime he's asking me something, be like Minaj.
so cute.
So he picked up bits and bobs. Obviously, I taught him like probably like the words that he shouldn't know. But so he'd always like cuss me or whatever in Amarinya. But it's kind of like I don't know. It was almost kind of you pick up from each other's thing. I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like I learned a couple of, do you speak Yoruba? But that's obviously because my friends were there anyway. So it was, I don't know, I don't feel as if like there's that whole, it makes it easier, but even within Ethiopia there's how many different tribes, how many different cultures, how many different languages, so it's like
it's like about the families as well, because just because you're the same culture doesn't mean that you're automatically gonna like get along and have good chemistry. There's always gonna be something that makes people different, and it's how much I think you let it.
I'm not opposed to either or. It's just whatever happens.
I guess it's my turn.
No.
So I've actually never been in a relationship, but yeah, I have dated, I've talked to girls, whatever, like been in that stage. When I was a bit younger, I used to think like, what is the point of getting into a relationship now at like 17, 18? Like, why am I gonna get into a relationship when I know that it's probably not gonna lead to marriage. It's probably not gonna really get that far. It might
not
be,
with that attitude.
No, obviously it could go far, whatever. I'm not obviously 100%.
Don't you want to date
like,
to kind of
like learn about
yourself?
yourself.
I understand.
What you actually
I understand that now, obviously. But
Yeah.
obviously when I was younger, that's probably why I didn't get into a relationship.
But were they Habesha? Were they non-Habesha?
No, there was one girl I was talking to that was Habesha, but she done me dirty, so.
Exposed.
I'm not exposing. I'm not that kind of person to hold grudges and
Well
stuff.
done, you're smart.
So like.
And not everyone's the same. Like just because one person did something.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing is you're just learning lessons.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why you should date as well, so you can find out about yourself, find out what you're actually looking for. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's a healthy process.
The girls that I was finding it, like the girls I found attractive, the girls I was talking to are of different races. Like I was never like, I only like these kind of girls, or like these kind of girls. Like, if a girl is like, if I find a girl attractive, she's beautiful, then she's beautiful, innit? So it was just like that. But yeah, now I would say, when I'm getting into a relationship, I'm looking for an Habesha girl, but I wouldn't like limit myself to it. Like, whatever happens, innit?
With my experience, basically, like Miran said, like I grew up with people I didn't have any Habesha friends. Like the only Habesha people I knew were my family and family friends. So I never really said to myself like, yeah, I'm gonna date Habesha guys, because I don't really know any. Like I don't know where to find them. Like they're so hard to find. So yeah, I never really like growing up in secondary school. The only people I really found attractive, or like you see, oh like he's good looking, is like they're only like black, like West Africans or Caribbeans. So yeah, and I was open-minded, but I just didn't know any. So it was only like when I got to uni when I started actually dating people. And yeah, I was in a relationship. I've only been in one relationship, and he was Ghanaian. So yeah, that's it really. I've spoken to Habesha guys recently, but like nothing really serious like that. But yeah, like I'm open-minded. I would love to marry an Habesha. Like I would love that. But it's so hard to find them, and you just never know what's gonna happen. Like you could fall in love with anybody, so you can't really limit yourself. But I would personally love to marry an Habesha, but you just never know what's gonna happen.
I feel like there needs to be like a Habesha Tinder or something like
I
that.
think so, yeah.
Space in the market. Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
hard for,
Yeah.
I feel like it's easier for
Actually,
guys
there's
to
one
find
guy
They did,
girls.
he just created
What's that
that.
thing? They did
Are you
like
serious?
Yeah,
what's that,
yeah,
speed
yeah.
dating.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
she did a
yeah.
Hampshire speed dating event.
Oh, okay. Oh, she
Yeah.
did, yeah. And
See,
there's
that's,
another
that's
guy.
proactive. That's good.
And it's
Yeah.
funny because the majority of Habeshas were females, actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
exactly.
It's so much easier for guys to find Abisha girls.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Abisha
Honestly,
But girls
Why do you
find
think
guys
that? Why
is
do you think
just-
that is though? Why do you think
I don't know
that?
where they are.
Maybe you're not looking in the right place, bro.
I was thinking it's kind of you're not gonna go out of your way
Yeah,
to find.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind of like if they come in like the environment that you're in, then it
Mm.
happens. But you
Mm.
can't like. Okay, I'm specifically gonna go to all the Abisha events to look for a husband. I'm gonna go to church every week and see someone. I'm gonna do this and like. It's
I mean, you
like,
go to a wedding, you bump to someone, you click, that's it, it happens. It doesn't have to be a particular, you know.
But you
go to
can't have
weddings.
that mindset where you're just looking for someone.
No,
you can't
no.
be like, I'm gonna wake up
Naturally
tomorrow
it
and
has to
find a
happen.
Habesha
Naturally,
guy. No,
yeah.
it
No,
has
no.
to be neutral.
Natural, yeah,
Like, If
exactly.
not, it's just gonna be forced. You're gonna have that
Mm.
thing in your head where it's like, okay, should I pursue this person? They're Habesha, they're the same age as me, but really and truly.
And then you start like all the stuff that you.
Tick box.
But then you won't even like complete the tick boxes. You'll be like, okay, cool,
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
Abisha. Okay, I can
Yeah.
forget everything else.
Yeah.
And then when you later on go down the
But when
track,
you actually
No.
get to know him, you're like, oh wow, he's a serial killer. Okay, you know what I mean? Like you need to know that person.
Yeah.
So,
And
like,
also, like, it depends where they grow up. Like, if they're Abisha and they're from a different, like, if they're from Germany, they're from somewhere else, you don't have the same upbringing. Like,
Mm.
yeah.
it doesn't matter if they're from the Abisha,
That's
it
it.
doesn't matter. Like, if they're from where I'm from, they grew up like how I grew up in South London. You know, like, it just depends on where. Like, you have to
Can you
have
come?
like
But that's
some
when
kind
I
of,
feel like dating people that are like
Relate to
not
you.
Habesha but grew up in the same environment. For
That's
me,
what you
I
get a lot of
find I
times.
can relate
Yeah.
to them so we can relate on so many
Yeah.
other levels other than just our
exactly.
But from,
Yeah,
what,
where
from,
I'm
from,
from.
from what I've heard so far, like, I feel like one of the main problems is actually just the scarcity of men. Like, there's no Habesha men. Like, where are they?
yeah, that's
You
it.
know what I mean?
So do you guys have conversations with your parents about dating? Like, is
Yeah.
this something you talk about? Because
I
I
don't-
don't feel
not
like
really.
I talk about it.
Well, it's
Like
like,
back
only
up.
with
Not
one
anything.
like.
She'll know like after the fact. Like she'll know after I've broken
I
up
know,
with them.
but there's no like sit down conversation.
There's not like, oh yeah, I'm dating this person. But I think now as I've gotten older, I'm actually a bit more open with talking to her about it. But there's been times I've like been on the street with like an ex or whatever, and like I bumped into like an auntie, and there's literally there's no getting out of it. No, I wasn't even doing anything PDA or anything, but it's just obvious. I swear your mum has bumped into
My
like.
dad bumped into me when I was with someone.
Oh yeah. and I swear your mum's bumped into one of my exes. at the gym.
You should tell
Yeah,
me.
and like it's like so you know that they know that something's going on, but you just never talk about it. I don't really bring it up unless I feel like this is something that
This
you know
is a
serious
whack.
Yeah.
and unfortunately it's never gotten to that point, and if it has then it's like after the breakup and I'm upset or something. But do you guys talk about it? What's
Well, when my
what's
dad,
your experience?
when I was walking, I was with someone that I was talking to at the time, and we were just walking down like
The riverside.
and we was coming back onto the main. We're coming back on to the main road, and
That
then
sounds romantic.
I seen him from far, and I was like, hold on a second. I was like, and then by the time I clocked it was my dad, it was too late, and he seen me, and then like
Did you
I
push her in
told
the river?
I told her I was like that's my dad's right there, and then she's kind of like panicked a little bit.
Oh, right.
But then I'm like, it's calm, just relaxing it. And then we're walking. I kind of walked a little bit ahead of her to go and greet my dad. And I thought he was gonna want to greet
You
me.
can't like not.
But
How
instead,
long
yeah, because I'm not.
gonna.
But instead, he's just like waved and nodded like this, and I just carried on going. And
Respecting
just
that.
and just
Oh,
walked
Can I
past.
just ask
And
a
then I
question?
walked
Can I
Yeah.
ask, was she Habesha?
Yeah, she was Habesha.
See, the issue that I find is that I feel like with people who don't have a strong sense of culture, I feel like they don't understand that kind of thing. Because I did date, I'm gonna say a white guy at one point,
Yeah.
and I'd get invited to all his family things. Like I met his
Yeah.
mum really quickly. I'd get invited to all his
Yeah, that's
great
what.
Yeah.
great aunts'
Yeah.
birthday parties,
Yeah.
and he
It's
couldn't.
so true.
Yeah, and he
They're
couldn't
so
understand.
quick into introducing
Yeah.
to their
And
parents.
he
Oh,
couldn't
yeah.
understand he couldn't understand why he couldn't meet my family or come to my family things.
Interesting.
And it was really hard because how do you explain that to someone? Like how do you explain the
Oh,
like we
yeah,
don't
Did
do
it
that?
affect your
Yeah, I
relationship?
think it was a really big problem, and his family didn't understand why he couldn't be allowed, around my house or that kind of thing. So I find that really difficult. It it did create like a bit of a problem in their
Relationship.
yeah.
So following on from that, when would everyone now? When would you guys introduce your partner to your family then?
Couple years.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I
agree
said
with you,
until
bro.
like there's a
Wait, maybe that's a stretch. Maybe that's a stretch. When I know that when I know like I want to marry her.
Like my mum just straight up says, "Don't tell me about nothing until you're ready to marry me."
Really?
That's same
No
here.
nonsense, like just
My
straight
mum
to
wants
the
me
point.
to tell her everything.
Yeah.
But
me
then,
too.
what if you think you're gonna marry someone and then it doesn't quite work
That's
out?
why.
Like,
That's why I feel like I don't want to tell. I wouldn't want to tell my parents anything because I'd rather. I think for me it's a case of I don't want them to see like the not the struggle but the build up to that. I'd rather you just see the finished product. But that's just in
I
life
don't
in
want them to
general.
worry about you as well.
Yeah, like I don't want them to be thinking it's like.
And also, like, you don't want them to feel like if I'm seeing someone or dating this guy or in a relationship with them and I introduce them to my parents or tell my mum about them and we break up, then I
It's kind of
come
like,
into another relationship and then tell my mum about that one. Mum's gonna think like, well,
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like my mum does understand the fact that you have to date in
Yeah,
order to find that.
Oh, yeah,
that-
yeah.
But on the other hand, my dad is very different. I think he would more like to see like if I'm getting married, then he'd meet
Yeah.
that person. So I think with my mum and dad, I have a different kind of relationship
I feel like it's the same with our
when it
parents.
comes to dating.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter whatever, to how old you get, still the parents, the family, they're still on your case. But at a certain point, once you be able to make those certain decisions. Now, for example, me, when I get into a relationship, I don't say, nah, this is my business, because I learned from my last lesson mistakes I did. Never get involved in family until you reach something solid.
Yeah, I think part of the problem is that
that.
our parents end up having a relationship with that person as well.
Yeah.
You know, like I can say that for my mum, for example. That's why she's so like, don't bring anyone until you're ready. Like,
Yeah.
because she will invest time and energy. Like she's cooking A-word for you. Like,
Yeah, imagine, you know what I mean?
She's, you know what I mean? So she'll on a serious note,
Yeah.
it's part of the fact that they're getting close as well.
Yeah.
And then you just cut it off and then you bring another one. So it's not even really fair on them.
Like I feel like because I am dating outside of my culture, I feel like the sooner they meet, then we can see how sort of compatible we are and how it will work. And I think the longer you leave it, it's just
the longer it gets.
it gets worse, and you don't know. If it's going to carry on, like it's better to know earlier than sooner than later.
So what do you guys think about like the age differences and like what ages would you date and what ages would you not date? Like what's the limit?
I think it depends on where you are in your life, because if I'm at uni and I'm dating someone that's like in their career, in their job, I feel like we're both at different stages of our life. So if like we're both in our careers, then it doesn't really matter how old. But obviously not too old, like.
What about younger?
I would prefer not to go out with someone younger than me, because I feel like I'm just like.
I'll see you as a child.
Yeah, like I see you as like younger, like I don't know.
I've been in a relationship 9 years older than me. So I've been in a relationship younger than me. So I've seen both sides. I've always been attracted to like somebody a bit older, mature, like up there.
Obviously, like what you said, at different stages of your life it changes. So obviously, like when you're in college and stuff, when you're in school, you're gonna when you're in like secondary school, if you like talk to someone a year below you, everyone's like, oh, what are you doing? Like,
Exactly.
When
It's
you're
like
in
1 year
college,
below
it's
you.
different.
Yeah. That literally 1 year below that. Oh my days, like this is madness. And then when you get to college, it's like, oh, it's calm. Let it sink. If you're both in college.
If you're in college, you can't really date someone that's still in
Still in-
secondary
Yeah.
school.
Yeah, that's. But nowadays they get like confused because time has changed. The one until you hear the oyster bleeping twice.
I feel like at my stage in life, I feel like men that are younger than me aren't exactly looking for the same thing as me. They're not looking for like to build or have like a long-term relationship, for a mortgage and stuff like that. They're more looking for just dating, like casually. I feel like I would always date someone that's older than me just because of their maturity level.
But then
I want
age
them to be,
doesn't
they're not
define
usually on the
maturity.
same level as me.
I agree with you to an extent though, because there are guys that I've dated that are like late 20s and like they're not ready.
Yeah, that's
for-
true.
I think it's in your
It's all
mind,
about
like
your mind,
on
yeah.
where you feel. But sometimes the guy might not feel like they're ready to settle down because they might not be where they want to be in life. And I think it's a mental thing. You both have to, like since I said, I think you both have to be on the same page with what you want, what you're working towards. And for me, definitely like mentally on the same wavelength. That's what's most attractive to me. And usually those guys are a bit older than me, not that much older, but a bit older than me. But
I don't feel like it's an age thing though, because my friend, she's 22 and her husband's 23 and they're married and they've got a child now.
Yeah.
They both come from the same background
and the same stage in their
they
life.
dated for like a year or two, I think, before he popped the question. Because obviously they both had the same intention, and that's the most important thing. If you have the same intention, if you know that you both want to settle down or whatever, or if you both know you just want a casual date, as long as you both got the same intention, I don't think age is a factor at all.
When you're younger, it's like girls are, because they're maturing quickly, and then boys are kind of more immature, but they're the ones that are like looking for girls. They're out here looking like, I want this girl, I want this girl. Girls are like, no, I'm good. And then you're saying like, when you do,
I think they have more options.
because when you do get older and you're like in a good place, it's going to be all the girls are coming to you now. You don't have to go out.
The whole game changes. That's why even now when I talk to younger guys, like, a lot of times I'm saying just don't focus on chasing girls as your primary focus. Focus on building yourself.
Exactly.
So that when that time comes, you're just ready to do it. Like,
what's that saying? You need to find your soul before you find your soulmate.
Yeah.
That's a good look to wrap up. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Talk Habesha. Also, a big shout out to Salam Central for the collaboration. Follow them on Insta too at Salam Central. The links will be in the description down below.